Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you what I have chosen for my 6th graders curriculum. Now, I do want to share that this is a multi-curriculum pick. We are an eclectic homeschool here. We did not start off that way 5 years ago, but here we are and we are loving it. So if you guys are using one curriculum and you are strict to that one curriculum because you're afraid to kind of check out different curriculums and kind of change things around and manipulate different curriculums to fit your homeschool, don't be afraid. You guys can do it. It is doable and it makes it kind of fun and interesting to kind of change things up a little bit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to share is our Bible picks for this year. Now, I always use Becca's Bible curriculum, and I actually love their curriculum. I talk about them every year, and I tell you guys about them. Now, this year was a little different in me choosing just because I am going to be teaching my 6th grader and my 1st grader Bible together. But the cool thing about Becca's Bible curriculum is you can use it for all different grades because they don't really change the curriculum. It's not watered down at all. You are literally teaching the Bible to them. So this year we have multiple of these flashcards through Becca, and they are specific to different chapters in the book or maybe parables of Jesus and things like that. So this year I am focusing mainly on Jesus, only because my 1st grader, I really want him to get to know Jesus. And I feel like that's the best way to learn about the Bible and to start feeling that connection is learning about Jesus. I know when I became born again, I was told that I should read the New Testament. And I think that that was such a great way to start reading the Bible because you grow in that love for Jesus. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing with this. And so we are going to be working through the Life of Christ series. So it's multiple books. I have a few videos on the Bible curriculum through Becca. It is on my channel if you guys want to check it out. I may have a playlist, or if you just go to any specific grade playlist, you should be able to find. But I do have like individual videos on Bible just by itself, if that makes sense, and not like a whole curriculum pick video. But these are all of the Life of Christ series, and then I will be doing the Salvation series. Now, to go along with that for my daughter and my son, I'm going to be using the DK Illustrated Bible. I have used this in the past with my daughter and my niece who's in high school. And this is actually a really beautifully put together book. So I want to incorporate this somehow into our Bible. Now, I will say that I will have Bible supplements in Bible time throughout the week. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I have a lot of like Bible books that I have not gotten to. I have some Bible books that we have not finished. So I want to make sure to do that. So I may put up a video on Bible supplements soon for my 6th grader. So the next thing I wanted to share is my picks for our language arts curriculum. I did go ahead and go with Becca again this year. I have used Becca since 1st grade, since starting with homeschool with my daughter, so 1st grade now through 6th grade. I want to mention that we do the video lead for language art. It takes a little bit of pressure off of me. I feel a little bit more at ease her learning from somebody that can explain things well. When it comes to teaching language or arithmetic, that is just not something that I can explain. I know how to do it. It's just something that I think I'm more confusing than I teach. Do you know what I mean? So I went ahead and picked up the Becca's curriculum. Now, this is the video manual for grade 6, but I am literally only going to be using the language. So it comes with that. That's the daily guide that tells me what needs to be taught on that specific day. I also went ahead and bought the language C, which is the workbook pages that she'll be working on. These are just like her workbook pages. Okay, so this I didn't actually purchase. This was my oldest niece's. So we hold on to all of our curriculum that we've used for the kids that are coming up in those grades. And I will continue to hold on to them because that is how we save money. So if you have multiple kids or you know other homeschooling moms or families, I would hold on to your stuff and kind of like trade it off within, like amongst you, because you can definitely save money there. So this is the answer key to the workbook pages. So I have that. I did buy the student quizzes. These are the quizzes and tests. These are the workbook pages. They are loose leaf so that I could bind them for her. But I did purchase that. And then we have the teacher key here that goes along with that. So what I did is I ordered the single subject package, video only, but that does come with some of the books, like the teacher key for the tests. It didn't come with the teacher key for the workbook pages. I had to buy the workbook pages because they've obviously been used, so I bought that separate. The reading comprehension skill sheets came in the pack. Even though it says video only, this did come with the pack, so we'll be using those. And then the creative writing, I think I bought this on the side. So I think it's like $20 or so. So I just bought this individual. So she will be working through her creative writing through Abeka this year. The last couple of years, I just did prompts for her and she was able to just be creative with her writing, but I wanted a little bit more structure this year. And I think with the 6th grade, things are a little bit more structured in their writing. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to get this booklet for her. What else came with that? The other thing that came is the Adventures in Greatness, Speed and Comprehension. This is a really great book. This actually came in the video only pack. And this is a great book because she'll read a story, it'll kind of be timed, and then she'll answer questions, and it just shows how fast she could read and how she's comprehending what she's reading. Now with these reading comprehension sheets, these are not timed, they're short stories. They may be like poster board type things or pamphlets, something like that that they have to read, and then they answer questions. It's kind of like a comprehension thing as well. But I also picked this up, or it came with the pack. Now, typically we would do spelling through Abeka, but this year my daughter, for the past couple of years, she's been wanting something different for spelling, and I've had a really hard time finding something. And I kind of went back and forth last year, and it came with the pack already, so I just said, you know, we're just gonna stick with Abeka this year. But she literally dreads it, which is okay because I know, you know, kids are gonna dread specific subjects. But I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to make sure to find something that she could use from now until graduation. So the only other curriculum that I found that I wanted to try was BJU. So I went ahead and picked up the BJU 6. I really like the way they have their workbook laid out. I don't know, it just seems a little bit more engaging. And then it also came out with some student handbooks. Now I am doing the video led as well with this through BJU. It did cost a little bit more doing it that way other than just using Abeka's. But I really want her to enjoy it, especially spelling. You know, I think it's important to know how to spell, and I think it's important to kind of enjoy or have some sort of enjoyment in it to where you're not completely dreading a subject. So I'm hoping this works out. This little student handouts, it has like a daily guide in here. I'm not quite sure, maybe other worksheets, that's what it looks like. But that's what's in here, and then this is her workbook. But again, I did the video led because the teacher will go over each word with her, and they'll go over definitions and what they mean, and they use them, I think, in sentences to kind of explain it better. And I could teach her, but I don't want the responsibility of having to teach her a whole bunch of subjects and having to teach my son. So she will be doing all of her language arts through video led. Bible, I will be doing with her. The next one that I wanted to share is our science. So science has always been a really hard subject for me to find a curriculum that I enjoy. and that the kids enjoy. So last year, I did some unit studies and we really actually enjoyed that a lot. I think the kids enjoyed it. They said they did, but those were some that I had put together on my own. But I was looking through all the subjects that you normally learn through elementary and junior high before high school, and I saw that we were missing something, and that was chemistry. So I found master books had the God's Design, Chemistry, and Ecology. Now, we will not be doing the properties of ecosystems because we did that through the Good and the Beautiful. We did their kingdoms and classifications. And so I just figured that we don't need to do that again. So I will be working through properties of matter and properties of atoms and molecules with her this year. Now, I wanted to try master books because my oldest niece did it last year or the year before, and she loved, no, it was last year. She worked through a couple things that were master books and she really enjoyed it. So I picked up the student book and I picked up the teacher key. Now, I did not pick this up through their website. I actually picked these up and one more of the actual workbooks to read through with my daughter because I like to have a book to read alongside of her. But I picked these up through eBay, you guys, and I probably saved about $60 on purchasing them through eBay. They're in really good shape. I did contact the sellers before I purchased them and just asked them a couple more questions about the detail of their books to make sure that there was no highlighting or writing or, you know, anything like that, missing pages, stuff like that. But I was really pleased with the purchase through eBay. So I went ahead and did that. Just to let you guys know, talking about eBay, my father and I are like preparing to start a shop through eBay, and I will be selling all of my old curriculum and that I'm not going to be using anymore, and some readers and books and supplemental things on there if you guys are at all interested in that. So my plan with this is we are going to be doing 1 quarter through properties of matter and 1 quarter with atoms and molecules. And so 3rd quarter, I'm not sure what order. I think I'm actually going to have that the last part of the school year. I'm not sure yet. But I put together this little workbook of the human body, and it goes with this book here. So we are going to do a human body study, and also we have this human anatomy activity book that comes with things to read and different worksheets. So we are going to be doing that. I'm not sure if it's going to be 1 quarter or a little bit longer than a quarter. And I purchased this last year, and we were supposed to do it last year, I think, but I just never got around to doing the workbook pages. So I finally got that done. So we are going to be trying to do that this year. And I purchased this book a couple years ago, and I finally did the workbook for it. I did have to edit my cover because it's a little off with my printing, but I went ahead and put together the workbook here to go with that. So these I'm hoping take about 2 quarters to do, and then we could do the master books for 2 quarters. And for our math, we are going back to doing the Saxon math 7-6. My daughter actually really enjoyed this math curriculum last year. We do use Nicole the math lady. She really loves her and she explains things so well. There were only a few problems that she didn't quite understand, so we just kind of, you know, dug deeper and figured out ways to teach her those things. But I also picked these up from eBay, and you guys, I'm telling you, you can really save some money that way. So if you're sketchy about doing that, you can definitely look into it. I mean, you can see a little bit of wear on these books, but not a lot at all. And to be honest, when we use books, there's wear on them as well. So, I mean, literally within the first few weeks. So, but we chose Saxon, so that's our math. And then history, I don't have the books here because, as you guys know, my sister moved and she has the books with her. So my brother-in-law is going to be bringing them back to us. But I did purchase the workbooks that go with it, and we're going to be using the NOTGRASS From Adam to Us. This is world history. We will probably only use this for half of the school year, so 2 quarters worth or a semester. I did get the lesson review, and this is the map book. So I picked those up, and then it comes with these, the different books that come that we are going to be reading. We'll probably only get through part 1 of that curriculum. Another thing we will be working on this year is the Good and the Beautiful's U.S. Constitution and Government course book. I went ahead and already printed these out for us, and I purchased the reader to go along with it, and I purchased the student journal for my daughter to fill out as we read this. So yeah, I'm really excited to work through this, not only for her, but for myself. I think it's a great time to be learning more about the Constitution and know our rights. You know, just how things are going. I think it's super important. I mean, it was important before, but I feel like it's even more important now. Another thing that we are going to start that we did not do last year, but I did do the workbook last year. I put together the Find Out Ancient Egypt. So we're going to be reading about this. As soon as we read about Egypt in NOTGRASS's curriculum, that is when we are going to read through this. I'm hoping it's in the first book. If it's not in the first book, then I'm going to push this until her 7th grade year. But I don't have the book here, so I don't know for sure. But I have just a workbook and a teacher key to go along with this, and it just talks all about Egypt. And so I thought that that would be a really fun, like, added supplement. So I'm hoping that that's 1 quarter long, and that the Good and the Beautiful is a quarter, and then we'll do NOTGRASS for a semester. For our geography, we are going to be doing NOTGRASS's geography, but that is more like map work. So last year we started My Father's World, and I just took it slow and I added some things into it, because if you know me and my channel, that is just something that I do naturally. I like to add our own things into stuff, or our different subjects. So we are going to be continuing through exploring countries and cultures. I really have loved this curriculum. We are going to be starting in Africa. And so we'll have 4 different continents to cover this year. If we don't cover them this year, I'll just push it until the next year. So one of the books that we use with this curriculum, and I will continue to use, is the Children's Atlas of God's World. This has been a really great informational book. We also use A Trip Around the World. There are 2 of these. Here it is. There's 2 of these books. So these are some workbook pages that kind of go along with whatever country you're working through. We also go through the Classroom Atlas, which is a really helpful book. We will be continuing to work through Exploring World Geography. This was not my favorite book, workbook, but I think it is still important. It teaches about animals, the vegetation, the climate, stuff like that. So I do think it's important. So we will still continue to add that in. I also have added in Children Just Like Me, and I've created a workbook that goes along with this. Let me see if I have it so I can share it with you. It's this little workbook here. So it's just a little workbook that goes with each country that we are working through. And then I also have been using How Children Lived, and this just is like ancient times, so I think it's kind of important to show that. And then this is just like a little workbook that goes along with that, just little informational things that the kids can write when they read about it. That is it for our My Father's World. There's probably a couple other books that go along with it, but that's basically what I have been using. Now for our like elective type things, we did start Maturation and Sexual Reproduction by the Good and the Beautiful last year. We only got through 3 of the lessons, and so we are going to be continuing on with this unit. If you have not heard of this unit, it is a really great unit if you are going to be teaching about maturation and sexual reproduction. It is done in a biblical way, And I think it is just put together so nicely. This is what we used with my high school niece. She was in junior high at the time. But this is what we are using for my daughter. We are going to be continuing through typing 2. So this is through the Good and the Beautiful as well. And then also, so these are going to be split up. So we're going to finish maturation in the first quarter. And then typing, she'll probably work through only a couple days a week. So that will take her a little bit longer. I also went ahead and picked up the Life Skills for Tweens workbook. I think this is super important. And speaking about this, I actually did a printout of things your middle schooler should know. And this is just like basic life skills, like cleaning up the house, keeping your room tidy, going through things, saving money. What else? So much, you guys. Cooking, laundry, what else? First aid, manners, like waking yourself up, learning your personal information, pet care if you have an animal, shopping and knowing how to pay for it, nutrition, meal planning, self-care, emergency preparedness, cyber safety. That's something that I've been looking online to see if there's anything like printout wise. So if you guys know anything through cyber safety, let me know because I'm looking for something. Community service, serving, and charitable giving, how important that is. Decision making, yard work or yard care, reading a map, note taking, how to research something, filling out different types of forms, keyboarding, stuff like that. I just think that that's super important. So I have like this little checklist. I've shared it before in another video, but it's just a checklist that we are gonna work through. So when I put this together, I started looking for life skill books and I found this one. It's a book that she will read, and then there's like little workbook questions and, you know, where she has to fill out her answers. But hopefully this is a good one. Not sure because we haven't used it yet, but I'll let you guys know what I think of it. And then the last thing I'm gonna share, now we have had this, has it been 3 years? We started it and then we stopped it. I can't remember if it was around COVID when we stopped it or if this was before COVID. I don't remember, but we stopped. Maybe we had too much going on, but I really want to do the cooking lap book again. Now this is definitely aimed, you know, for younger kids, but I just figured I can do this with my son and my daughter if my son wanted to do it, if he's interested. But it shows safety in the kitchen. It goes over your different baking tools and cooking tools, you know, contamination that you can have with different meats and foods, how to stay like keep the kitchen clean while you're cooking, how to shop for fruits and vegetables, so many cool things. So I want to try to do this again. My daughter absolutely loves cooking and loves baking. So I'm gonna try to add this in somewhere. Now, I know it seems like a lot here, but we are not gonna be working on all of these subjects every single day. I have been working out a schedule for first quarter through fourth quarter, and I've been trying to juggle things around. So say 1 week we're only doing, or say we are only doing My Father's World, which is geography, only 3 days a week, and we're doing history 2 days a week, and we are doing typing 2 days a week. Like, I'm gonna just juggle those around. But I'm definitely gonna try to have her finish her life skills and her maturation within the first couple quarters. That way those are completely done. So I will for sure have her doing all of her core subjects every single day. And then the others, I will kind of intertwine them throughout the week. But with all that being said, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Be safe and be blessed. Bye, you guys.